How About That Cigar is proud to bring you coverage of the 2023 PCA Trade Show, all brought to you by Don Doroteo Cigars.
How About That Cigar, PCA 2023, Day 3, the end of Day 3. And we are here with Skip Martin from RoMa Craft Tobacco. How you doing, Skip?
I'm good, man.
Always good to see you.
Yeah.
So you guys being here at the trade show all together, the Nicasueño family, we say, all in one little line here. It's pretty cool, man, having you guys all here.
Yeah.
So how's the vibe been?
It's good. I mean, I make cigars. Mike sells them.
Yeah.
The less I talk to retailers, the better, he says. So, I've most of the discussions I've been having here are, cigar rings, tobacco vendors,
Yeah.
So it's good. For us, the trade show is really about seeing people we don't see but once a year. So we don't have reps and brokers, so we communicate with people throughout the year. But especially me being down in Nicaragua, some of these people I only see once a year.
Yeah. So while you're here, I mean, like you said, you're talking with different vendors, whether it's bands and that kind of thing. Are you seeing like generally positive kind of vibes right now from people, or not, basically?
Positive in what sense?
Positive in the sense that sales are steady for most companies, and that product is moving at a generally solid rate for most people.
I mean, I think people are generally always positive because you kind of have to be, to
trade show mode, trade show face.
Yeah, I mean, I think generally we all recognize that the wave of consumption from COVID, that kind of purchasing kind of ended in November somewhere.
Right.
So it really depends on the companies, how much inventory they built up, were they working on something new, something old.
Yeah.
It really depends on how much inventory the retailer had. What I would say, the import numbers are a little deceiving, I think. But I think in general, we're not at 420 million cigars a year anymore, but we're also not at 240.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were at a point, not us as a company, but in 2018, there were factories laying people off. There was a lot of inventories were high. So COVID, and then they stopped producing. And then COVID, so they even stopped producing more. So there's just like these waves of production and whatever.
Yeah.
I think as much as people like the high sales volume, it creates a lot of stresses in the system that are unsustainable around tobacco, around even how many labels are having to be made, box production.
Yeah.
So as much as everybody likes the higher sales numbers, the reality is it gets easier for all of us if production peels back to a sustainable number and stays level.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're always level. We've been at the same level since 2017.
Yeah.
So we don't have big swings one way or the other. We just try to keep it going.
Yeah.
So for us, it's a little bit different, but the general overall mode, there are a few regulatory things, but we've got relief there. There's a lot of volatility in Nicaragua right now.
Yeah.
That's a big concern, a big concern.
Right.
It's kind of like 2018.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. That's not good news.
Because if that does kind of, spark and increase, the effects are inevitable, correct?
I mean, who knows?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's never good.
Right.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I got enough problems finding good tobacco, much less dealing with blockades and riots and whatever. Right. So, I think that there are some companies that are kind of like zombie. That they're already dead.
Okay.
They just don't know it yet.
Okay.
Because they, this is the cigar business.
Sure.
It's every business, but there are a lot of people who juiced up for COVID, overshot. Now they don't have cash, they don't have sales. They're in a lot of trouble. There's companies that kept going and had quality issues and staff issues, and that's going to hit them at some point. When the demand contracts and stores start getting more picky. There's consequences to be paid. So, but at the same time, there's some people that are just killing it, man. I mean, Plasencia is killing it. I mean, I could name a bunch of people, but you know, I mean, even there's some people making really great cigars that are really fighting to win. I mean, I'm smoking this Solamente. It's my favorite cigar of the show so far. Mickey, I've known him for years and years. And you see, he's over in his little booth just hustling.
Yeah.
You know, and he's been in the industry for 30 years.
Right.
So it's not easy. But
No, it's not.
you know, what we focus on making good cigars and selling them at a good price.
Yeah.
And we focus on the consumer. We try to be good partners for retailers, but we really focus on consumers.
Right.
So,
So we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the two things that you're really featuring. You know,
you said this was going to be 2 minutes, but
yeah, a couple minutes on camera. I said to him. So the Volstead and the, I'm going to try to say it right, Quinquagenario.
Quinquagenario. Quinquagenario. So we have the project from Ernie, first thing we ever made that wasn't made in our factory.
Yeah.
Really excited about that. I mean, we've been working on it 2 years. It was sold a year ago, probably. You know, we'll take the orders and then it'll ship.
Yeah.
It's $15. I think people will really like it, but you know, it's a real collaboration.
Right.
It tastes like a RoMa craft cigar. It has all the Manbaco and all that, and at the same time, it's almost all of them. And other than the wrapper, it's Dominican.
Yeah.
So we can make a RoMa craft cigar in the Dominican that tastes like a RoMa craft cigar, that's as good as any Nicaraguan cigar we make, or better.
Right.
I think Ernie's proud of it. I'm proud of it. In that process, using Sumatra, we learned about Sumatra. I learned how to blend with it, how to appreciate it, and which kind of really came in helpful with blending Volstead.
Yeah.
So we're really proud of Volstead. It's a lot different than you know, everything we make is a little bit different, but this one's really different. And everyone seems to like it. And I don't know if you've smoked yet, but I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a project that's, I mean, a lot of times projects have buzz long before they release, because you guys do a good job at being active on social media. You don't hold things close to the vests too long,
right?
And you let people know, hey, this is what we're working on. You were posting pictures of you with Ernie working on stuff 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So you really you're open enough where you say, look, this is what we're working on for long term. You don't wait until like 4 weeks, 6 weeks before a release to say even a peep about it to the public.
Yeah, and you know, Volstead, we made it thinking we're going to make it for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it took a while to get it going.
Yeah.
It's our first new brand since 2019, and we've only ever in our whole 12-year history had like, you know, 8 brands.
Yeah.
So, or 8 blends or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, a few things like Quinquagenario, Craft or whatever, but
right.
You know, buy it, smoke it. If you like it, buy it again.
Yeah. So like with all the blends, and I know sometimes we go through phases, but like for you in each of those blends, what's the Vitola that just you really dig?
So for me, Quinquagenario is one cigar, one size.
Yeah.
So that's easy, 5x50.
Yeah.
In Volstead, so like for example, in Cro-Magnon, I always liked the sizes where you got more of the wrapper.
Yeah.
Because I'm a broadleaf guy. So like the Knuckle Dragger and the Anthropology. In the Aquitaine, I generally liked like the Mandible, the bigger sizes. In Whiskey Rebellion, I generally like the small sizes, like 4x46 and the 5x50 Perfecto. In Connecticut, I generally smoke the medium sizes, like the Robusto.
Yeah.
In Volstead, I like the bigger sizes. The wrapper's nice, but the filler really shines. So
Okay.
I like the 5x56 George Remus is my favorite.
Yeah.
They all say the Blind Pig, the 4.5x60 is their favorite.
Yeah.
But the 4x46 is a banger too.
Okay.
You know, one thing that's real cool is, like Davidoff, for example, when they make a cigar, every cigar has a different blend, different ratios. Some of them even have tobaccos that other ones don't have.
Okay.
And they do that so every size tastes exactly the same.
Okay.
So if you're a Lonsdale smoker, you're going to have the same flavor experience as a guy who's a Toro smoker.
Yeah.
Right? What we do is we make every cigar the same, but the byproduct of that, the result of that is that every cigar smokes a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's why you might not like this size. You might be normally a 6x60 smoker, but you like the smaller size in this cigar.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why we do the catadors.
Yeah.
So people can taste the same size across brands. And it's also why we kind of encourage people to do samplers so they can smoke all 5 of something before they decide which of the ones they like or don't like, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing is, there's obviously a shorter time frame between this PCA and next PCA. Does that change how you guys do business, or is it just business as usual for you?
Business as usual.
Okay.
The half-wheel piece about us at last year's show was talking about King Guajanari on Volstead.
Yeah. Yeah.
This year, the half-wheel piece is talking about King Guajanari on Volstead.
Yeah.
So, but this year it's actually shipping.
Right.
Right. We've scaled back our booth a lot. It still has like the little touches that I like, but it's bigger than it was last year, smaller than it was 3 years ago. And, in March we'll come. It might be, we've already picked out our booth. So,
yeah.
Our goal really, again, is just to, in March, we'll be touching base with the people we kind of opened up this go around saying, how's it going?
Right.
So it'll be kind of good to have like that close proximity.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the trade show thriving. This one seemed busier than last year.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's ROI.
Right.
If people are not, I think people have to be here to be relevant, right? You do really kind of have to be here because there's certain. I don't have to be here to sell cigars.
Right.
But there are people who expect you to be here to have the conversations that they want to have. And it's like, if you're not here, it's like letting your best friend take your wife to the movies,
yeah.
Right? It's like eventually they're going to be fucking, right? So if you're here, they can hang out with your the other brands.
Yeah.
But if you're not here, hey, did we just become best friends at the bar and skip who?
Yeah.
So I think you have to be here. That's why you see Drew Estate coming back.
Yeah.
On the DL, you see General coming back on the Davidoff event is just saying fuck you, but that's Davidoff, right? Yeah. You got to be here.
I tried to get some inside info from somebody who I won't name about whether Davidoff had even been having discussions about coming back, and they have no idea. So
yeah, they're not going to enter Tobacco, so and that's a big deal.
It is.
So I think they've just completely decided. My guess they're scaling back their P&L to sell, or I don't know, but they don't see the ROI. That's the point,
Yeah.
Without getting into teasers, rumors, and gossip, the point is, and I respect Davidoff.
Sure, of course, yeah.
And if they wanted to buy us, I'm open to a phone call. Dylan Austin,
my number is.
Yeah. Or if they want to make cigars with me, But the point is, it doesn't. None of the other bullshit matters. If retailers do not come, if retailers do not buy, it's great that you guys are here. It's great that we're here. It's great that there's seminars and all this other stuff. But if I have to spend $60,000 and I'm on 20 points or whatever income, I've got to do $100,000 in sales just to break even.
Yep.
And then if I'm discounting and stuff on top of that, I got to do $200,000 worth of sales.
Yeah.
If I'm doing $200,000 worth of sales, I can't make any more cigars. So it's like it has to be there.
Yeah.
Either in the short run or in the long run, the ROI has to be there.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're putting in the effort. I mean, look at the quality of the badges.
Oh, they are so luscious.
Right. Right. That was a feedback.
Yeah.
They've dressed it. Boom. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, we're glad to be here, and we know that you're glad to be here. And seeing you guys and so many other people, like you said, we get to see you like once a year, and having a chance to do that, for us, it's really important, and we appreciate you giving us a few minutes.
You're welcome.
And we can't wait to have you on the show in a few weeks.
Yeah,
we'll
really start talking shit.
That's right. Thank you, Skip.
All right, brother.
All right, take care, guys. We'll see you again.